This is Plant-Based Chat, the second official week of Plant-Based Chat. And we're so lucky to have raw chef Yin with us. I don't know if you saw the live I did on her Instagram. Was it like 2 weeks ago now, I think? It's,
I think so, yeah,
it's
sometime
all kind of a
2 3 weeks
blur.
ago.
So, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about what you do and how you got to be raw chef Yin.
Okay. Hi everyone. Thanks, Kathy, for having me on your plant-based chat show. I am raw chef Yin. I am a raw vegan chef based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Previously, before the world events, I used to travel the world, helping people to make beautiful, delicious raw vegan cuisine. And I focus a lot on Asian foods because that's my heritage and that's my culture. And yeah, I feel that there's not that many people showing you how to make raw vegan Asian food, so I focus on that. But now because of the world events, I've started I think in 2020 I started doing online courses instead, and I started writing ebooks as well. So yeah, I have like 20 over online courses and 6 ebooks on raw vegan Asian, mainly raw vegan. I think there was a tempeh class, and there are 2 courses on tempeh, and I think there's one on something else that's not it's all vegan, but some of it is cooked as well. But yeah, so that's basically what I do. I discovered raw food in 2014, and it was just kind of like by accident. I was just trying to make ice cream. I was trying to look for a healthy vegan ice cream recipe, and then I found a raw vegan lasagna recipe instead, which looked really interesting. So I tried that out, and then yeah, and then I kind of got hooked. I healed my eczema, and then at that time, I used to work in the corporate world for about 15 years, and then I quit my job in 2012, and I was just trying to figure out what was my passion in life.
What did you do
And
when you worked in corporate America
I was
or
in
corporate Malaysia? I'm sorry, that just rolls off the tongue because that's what we say here. But of course, it was corporate Malaysia and not corporate
do,
America.
Actually, do you know what? You are kind of correct because for 10 years I worked as a corporate communications professional in 3 multinational companies, and they were IT companies, and they were all based. The HQ was actually in America. So it was I worked in Veritas Software, I worked in Symantec Corporation, and then Oracle Corporation for
Wow.
5 years. So yes, you are right. It is corporate. Totally corporate, corporate America actually.
So I
Yeah.
want to ask
So
you about your tempeh classes because I love tempeh. Now, is tempeh a staple food in Malaysia?
yes, it is. It's very common in Malaysia. It's actually very cheap in Malaysia as well.
Mm.
So it actually makes more sense to buy like fresh tempeh from the farmers market or from the shops rather than make your own. But I think the ones that they make over here, they don't use non-GMO soybeans. So yeah, so that's why I'm teaching that. And also because I don't think you can I don't remember seeing any other tempeh. Like, I don't remember seeing chickpea tempeh anywhere here in Malaysia. In Singapore, yes.
Okay.
Malaysia, maybe not so much. Or maybe there are some artisanal brands, but very small brands, but not like, easily accessible. Yeah.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. Like here we used to have Tempeh Girl, and I miss her. She was a local tempeh maker, and her culture was a little bit different than everyone else's, so it never tasted bitter. You didn't even have to steam it sometimes. It was delicious.
Yeah, that's the thing. In Malaysia, our tempeh is never bitter, So and when I make mine fresh, yeah, I don't steam it at all. is just ready to eat, and it's so good.
In my understanding, because the woman who ran Tempeh Girl, she actually was like a scientist and did the whole growing things on straight. So she knew it from the other side. And she's like, oh, tempeh is just like what I already know how to do. And so I don't
Right,
have
right.
any of her culture, but I did order one from Indonesia to see if it would be different than the
Hmm.
one I get in America. And I think there may be one I got from like the Netherlands. So I'm trying a
Oh,
few.
okay.
But I've made black bean tempeh. So not like
Oh
Chinese.
yeah.
Yeah, so I found when I did a tempeh class, so I was like, how can I make this foolproof? Because the hard part is cooking the beans to the right texture, right? They
Yes.
can't be too
Yes.
hard and they can't be too soft
Yep.
because if they're too mushy. So what we did is we started with cans of cooked beans. So we got organic
Ah,
black
okay.
beans. So that way they could have a success and see what the texture should look like. It was very fun. I want to make an all grain, no bean tempeh next. Have you made one of those?
I have made quinoa, but I think I mixed it with some beans as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I've done, yeah, I've done some, like, with brown rice, but it's always mixed, the grains are always mixed with some beans so that um yeah, the mycelium goes through, and it's but I oh wait, actually I have made some with seeds. I think pumpkin seeds and maybe sunflower seeds. I can't remember. Yeah,
Ooh.
but that took quite a long time to form. But yeah, I've made that before because yeah, I was just trying out and experimenting. So I have done like a seed tempeh before.
Well, Chef AJ can't have beans. She has an allergy, and so I'm wanting to make
Uh,
her tempeh. So I might have to check out. So if you guys look right underneath Chef Yin's name, you'll see Linktree/raw chef. Did I? Oh, did I mess it up? No, it's
yep, I
just
see
raw
Russia
chef
Yin. I
Yin.
think that's correct.
Okay, good. I have a button covering it, so it looks like I didn't put a Y in there, but it's
Oh,
there.
okay.
Hey, Jackie, it's good to see you. And also, I don't know if you saw this, but Apple had said just a few minutes ago that you're so creative and that she's seen you on Chef
Aw,
AJ's show.
thank
So
you.
I don't want you to miss that. Um,
Thank you so
so,
much.
what we're going to do today is Chef Yen is going to do a demo for us, and it is not on tempeh, even though I made her talk about that. but but where the link tree is you can get to her classes. So if you want to know more about her tempeh classes or her raw classes, is there one thing like if I was like I just need something to do for the weekend, what would be the one class you would recommend or the one ebook people start off with?
I think oh, the one that I am this recipe is actually from my ebook, Fun with Asian Raw Food. So, if they and I really like the recipes in this book. I think that's kind of like my best so far, my best recipes so far. So yeah, I think they can check that out. It's in both ebook and a course version. So
Okay.
if they're very familiar with using raw vegan techniques and all that, I think the ebook would be good enough. But if they learn and discover better using, visually, which is me, I rather watch videos than read a whole recipe, and try and figure things out. So I have a course as well, which is based on this ebook with 20 recipes, but it has videos. It has like I think 29 videos to
Ooh.
show you how to make all the dishes inside there. So yeah, you can check that one out.
That
And
sounds awesome. Was this book in the bundle that Chef AJ went?
yes,
So just so you guys
correct.
know, you can't get the bundle anymore. So I promised I wouldn't talk about it. But if you have the bundle, make sure to look up Chef Yen's ebook and make sure you have it all downloaded, and then you too can make this. So I'm gonna disappear for a minute and let you have the full screen. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe I'll just talk a little bit about the inspiration for this dish. So it's a black pepper udon. Traditionally, it's stir fried. and it's very, very popular here in Malaysia. Um, I think it's supposed to kind of have some kind of Japanese influence, but I don't know whether it's one of the dishes that Malaysia kind of has like taken and Malaysianized and claim it as its own, because I see this dish like in many Chinese restaurants, not so much in Japanese restaurants, but more of Chinese. And when I used to travel a lot, I used to always eat this in the airport cafeteria. That would be like my standard thing to eat. Yeah, but it wasn't very healthy. But they told me they could veganize it. But usually I think the sauces would like have additives and preservatives and coloring and all that. So what I try to do is make a healthier version. And yeah, I say healthier because I know like this still has salt, it still has sugar, even though it's coconut nectar and all that. It's not SOS free, let's put it that way. Yeah, but it is oil free. So
Okay, and let me just
yeah.
define for some of the people who may, most of the people who are on who are talking, they all know about SOS, and it just means sugar, oil, and salt free. And so, not
Yeah.
all whole food plant based dishes are also SOS free, but pretty much all of them are oil free, like you were saying. So, maybe if and maybe together we can figure out if there are some salt substitutes. Like, is the black bean, is it like the black bean sauce, the fermented black beans that you're going to use?
Um no, this is a black pepper,
Oh,
not
I'm
black bean.
sorry. I don't know why I decided it
Yeah.
was black bean sauce because it's peppery. I love fermented black beans and that I get at the Asian
Me too.
market. Okay, so I just
Me
made
too.
up a whole dish that she's not making tonight, but it's going to be black pepper udon.
I'm sure if you put black beans inside, it'll be great as well, because I think that's kind of like a Chinese, yeah, a Chinese dish that uses the black bean
I love that
paste. So
sauce.
yeah,
There's a
yeah.
Vietnamese
So
place near me that actually makes tofu. They only will do it twice a week when they can get fresh made tofu that day. And they make this
mm,
sauce. Oh, so good.
nice, nice. So there are back to my black pepper udon. um, there's four components to it. So there's the noodles, which I'm going to be using zucchini. So I've peeled the zucchini already. Yeah, I peeled the zucchini so it doesn't look so green. And then there's the sauce. So I'll and the ingredients for the so there's the sauce, and then there's the vegetables. Yeah.
Ooh, those look so
And
pretty.
then yeah, I was cutting them up last night because this it's like 8 in the morning today, so I thought I better prep the night before just in case I yeah. And then that's the garnishing, which is over here we call it spring onions, but I don't know whether on your side you call it scallions or green onions or
You can hear it
um
called all three of those spring onions, scallions, or
ah
green onions.
yeah, so that's what it is. There's also some black sesame seeds and some white sesame seeds. I don't think you can see that because of the light, but yes. So that's just for the garnishing. Maybe I'll just talk through the ingredients for the sauce. So I'm using coconut nectar. This is our for if there are any Malaysian viewers out there who are watching, this is from Gula Melt. I like using this just because it's all natural. There's no preservatives. There's no coloring. It's non-GMO. It's also low GI, and it's basically harvested from the sustainably harvested from the forest of Borneo here in Malaysia. So this is a Malaysian brand, but you
Oh,
can obviously use any other liquid sweetener of choice. In fact, later today I'm going to make another batch, and I'm going to try and use date paste instead, and see how it goes. Yeah, yeah.
that's
So I'm
very
going to try and do that.
popular. I think it's popular too here because even though dates are kind of expensive, to make date paste is really easy. And we're getting some coconut nectar now, but oftentimes it's quite expensive.
Yeah. But I love coconut nectar just for the flavor and the taste. And this one is like, because it's got some, it's like, it has a bit of a smoky, smoky
Ooh.
taste to it. So it's so interesting. It's not like, if you taste maple syrup, or if you taste like yakorn, or you taste like I don't know what else do people use, lakanto. It's just different. I think you would like it. I think, Kathy, you would appreciate that, the complexity of the flavor
I
for this
think you've
one.
talked
Yeah.
me into it because anything that's got a little hint of smoke to it, I'm all about it.
Yeah, but it's this particular brand because it's the I need to find out what's the name of the palm. It's, I think, in, I know in Malay we call it nira, but I don't know, I can't remember right now in English what is the palm. Yeah. But yeah, it's similar to the Arenga palm from Indonesia. Very similar. Yeah. So I
Ah,
don't know whether you've tried, whether you've tried that before.
I have not, but
Um,
I want to.
yeah. So I don't know whether your Asian markets would have something like that. Yeah. So that's the sweetener. And then my original recipe, I actually use mirin, but I just ran out of mirin. So so what I tried was I used a bit of I just used some organic balsamic vinegar instead. And then yeah, but I use less. So the mirin I said 1 tablespoon, but for the balsamic vinegar I just put 1 teaspoon. I don't know, Kathy, do you use mirin in any of your dishes, or is it not compliant?
Well, actually, what's funny, I was just at the Asian market today. Here, I'll put us both here for a second. I was
Okay.
at the Asian market today, the smaller one, and I picked up some mirin because I'm like, I've always been wanting to
Yeah.
do it, but it was like the first ingredient was like sugar. It was sugar,
Right.
salt,
Yeah.
and so I do use a lot of rice vinegar because you can use
Mm-hmm.
it either seasoned or unseasoned. And so that's what I
Yeah.
tend to use because it's more compliant for other people. Personally,
Mm-hmm.
I use some salt, but I try to have alternatives for
Yeah.
everybody
Okay.
else. But no, it was,
Yeah.
I got mushrooms because I always go there to get my shiitake and oyster mushrooms because they're so much nicer.
Right. I know what you mean, because I, so like I said, I just ran out of my mirin, and then I was like trying to look for the same brand that I had. So mirin is basically one. I actually did like I have some notes. So it says mirin is an essential condiment used in Japanese cuisine, and this is like the black pepper udon. That's why I want to get that particular taste that I'm looking for that we have over here. And then it's it's made in the natural saccharification or fermentation of glutinous rice, and rice malt, and shochu. Yeah. So
Oh.
I was asking this other shop that they said they had. Yeah, I was looking for organic mirin, and then you're right, because I looked at it and I'm like, oh, there's fructose in this, and then
Maybe
I
mine was
was like, should
better
I get
then.
it?
Mine didn't have
Should I
fructose,
not?
but it just had sugar. It didn't define it.
Yeah. And then I asked another one of my organic suppliers, and they gave me another, they showed me another one, and that one has no alcohol, so I might get that. Because
Oh.
yeah, I'm always going like, oh, but I want this taste, but like, oh, I want this to be healthier. What do I do? There's kind of a dilemma. But anyway, yeah. But I've also looked up, did I list it out? I've looked up, okay, substitutes for mirin. I've looked up online, and they mentioned sake, rice vinegar, sherry, balsamic vinegar, Chinese cooking wine, white wine, marsala wine, white grape juice. So maybe white grape juice, if you make your own grape juice, that would be totally compliant.
Yeah, I
But I
think
think
I'm
yeah,
wondering
it
too
seems
if
you
like
need a
what.
bit of that.
I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm
It's
gonna say
okay, you go.
okay. I wonder if we did some white balsamic. I usually often use a little apple cider vinegar. That's very easy for us to find.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just that it doesn't have that same taste as
Mm-mm.
um mirin, but yeah. Or you could just omit it, because I think it'll still taste. I think it'll still taste really nice even without the mirin. But that was just some thoughts going through my head. That's all. Because if you've never had the original version, then you wouldn't have anything to compare it to. Then it's fine. It's just that because I have something to compare and that memory, and I'm trying very hard to match that taste. That's the thing.
That totally makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. So the other thing is, I'm putting in a bit of tahini, and then yeah, there's a lot of ingredients that go into the sauce. Yeah, because I wanted it to taste the way I like it, and yeah, I had it. And then I'm putting some sun-dried tomatoes. There's also some fresh ginger root.
Mm.
Because in Asia we use a lot of fresh items, so it's like garlic. There's a garlic clove as well. And then there's some miso. So I'm today's miso I'm using. I have a few different kinds of miso, and I just like whenever I go to the shops or I see it online, I'm like, ooh, what's this? Ooh, what? That's why I'm trying out different ones. So this one is the awase miso, which is has mixed rice with barley. So not gluten free because it's got barley, but you can obviously use chickpea miso. I usually use gluten free miso. I mean, like if I'm making food for other people, but just since this is for myself, I thought like I was trying this. So I feel like the darker misos would work better. But if you don't have that and you just have you can just use whatever miso paste that you have. And then I just tell people to just always make sure to check the labels because sometimes some miso has bonito flakes in it and that's fish, so that's not vegan. So just make sure to check the
Oh,
labels and make sure that it's vegan. Yeah.
that's interesting because most of the brands that we get here, so I've gotten it in at the Asian market as well, but most of the time I think we end up getting it at Whole Foods or someplace like that. There are a few brands that don't have that at all. So that's a great tip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The ones at the Asian markets, sometimes you just need to kind of like look out for that. And then yeah, there's I'm using two kinds of ground pepper. There's black pepper and there's white pepper as well. I mean black pepper because this is a black pepper um udon dish, and white pepper is because in Asia we use we tend to use more. I find that we tend to use a lot more white pepper for our seasoning. Um, did you know, Kathy, that I was I think for one of my classes I was researching and then I realized like black peppercorn and white peppercorn it's actually the same. It's just when they pluck it. So I think one is more ripe and one is less ripe or something that end up
Oh.
processing and all that. But it's actually the same thing. I mean like it's the same plant. And I didn't realize that
Is it
until
the same with red and green as well? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but
I
the
bet.
I do know that what they call pink peppercorn is not really a peppercorn. I think it's a berry, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
Okay.
the pink ones. The red ones, are you referring to like the the Sichuan peppers or is
You
that
know,
something else?
I'm trying to. I have a three pepper blend, but I don't think I have any now. So I remembered it having different colors. Yeah, I don't have it now. I just checked my drawer.
Right.
But I thought I
Okay.
remembered
Okay.
like white, black, something kind of reddish, and something kind of greenish. But I know we have green
Ah,
peppercorns here, but I'll do some research. I like that though. I love that you have all these great facts because I love to learn.
yeah, yeah. I always find that also interesting, because I'm pretty much an info geek, so yeah. So I think I've covered that. And then so we've done the black pepper, there's the garlic, there's ginger, there's white pepper. I put in like I in my recipe, the original recipe, if you guys have the ebook, it's actually a pinch of salt. But today I'm very excited again. So I this is shio koji. I just popped by a cafe last weekend, and they also do their own fermentation. And so they fermented this. It's so shiokoji is used a lot in Japanese food. That's why I thought like it'll be perfect for this. And it's basically I need to let me like they use it to so I'm just reading the labels. They say used to marinate meat or flavor your vegetable or as a salt substitute.
Ooh.
I don't know why they call it salt substitute though, because it still has salt in it. The ingredients are handcrafted with 100% natural ingredients. So there's koji, there's organic Japonica rice, there's Celtic sea salt, and filtered water. Um, yeah, but yeah, so I picked this up and I used it when I tested it on Monday. I think I tested the recipe. It was really nice.
Ooh, I've
So yeah,
never
if
seen that. I do have some koji, and I want to do some experiments, but I haven't done. So I have the dry koji.
yeah, so apparently, when I took my tempeh class from my teacher many years ago, like she made something which she called shio tempeh, and I made it once. So basically, you take the tempeh, and then I think you put in salt and water, and then I think like every day you stir it, and then after 10 days, and you just leave it at your counter to let it ferment, and then I think after 10 days it kind of becomes something like this as well. But so
Interesting.
it's instead of using koji, you're using tempeh to make it. I mean, they like I say in Japan they use this a lot as a flavoring. Yeah, yeah. They call this the all-star cultured seasoning that magnifies flavor. But yeah, I think if you look up shio, yeah, go.
Yeah.
Just the word. Yeah, if you look that up, I'm sure that you should be able to find recipes and maybe you can try doing that as well. I did it once with tempeh, but that's it. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then I just like to eat my tempeh on its own. Yeah, I don't need the flavoring. Yeah.
I'm kind of the
So
same way too. I like go off and look at different things and things like that.
yeah. So yeah, this is really simple. Basically the raw food techniques we are using are spiralizing and blending. So we will spiralize the zucchini to make the noodles, and then we'll blend up the sauce, and then we just basically toss all the ingredients inside the with the sauce, and then we'll just garnish it. So it's actually quite straightforward. But I did want to show people some of the my toys, since I don't know how
Yay.
many people are familiar with the spiralizers that I had over the years. So my very first one was this.
They're very
Um,
easy to get here. All the different kinds, actually.
cool, yeah. I figured, yeah, but when I first started out in 2014, it was very difficult. But now
Yes.
right now in 2022, it's so easy to get it online everywhere. But I still have people asking me on Facebook like, what's that? What's that? What's that gadget and all that? So I thought I'll just show it on the show. So yeah. So this one acts like a pencil sharpener. Um, Put
That's
it
a great way
in.
to put it.
Well, you can go it this way as well, right? But I used to do it this way. We'll see. And then yeah. But I realized like, oh, this takes a lot of time. I mean, I think if you're just doing one for one person, then it's fine. But if you're doing for more people, then yeah. And you also need to kind of like cut it. If not, it'll be too long. But I'm just gonna tear it because my knife is somewhere else. Or sometimes I just kind of put it on the board and do that. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
a good idea.
yeah. But I realized like sometimes if I'm not careful, it cuts my fingers. So have you
Oh.
had that experience?
Yes, I even just burned my hand a little bit earlier tonight too. So I'm kind of a nightmare.
Oh, you know what? I'm horrible with cooked food. Yeah, I'm either burning myself or I'm burning my food. That's why I'm just sticking to raw. I don't burn anything. Yeah. Then the other one is this is basically a Paderno look-alike. So it's a fake one. I couldn't because they don't sell, I don't know whether they do sell the Paderno here now in Malaysia, but it comes with three different blades, yeah, where you can put it in. And in the recipe I actually mentioned use the thickest blade. I don't know whether you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thickest one because it's udon noodles, and udon noodles are, fat and thick. So if you just want it to be, close to that. So let me see if I can.
I like that. And just a tip for everybody in the US is that you can find tons of those at the thrift store. So I actually
Ah,
found like a new Pandero one, the brand that you were talking about. I found it at the
ah,
thrift store for $4.
wow. This
So
is really cheap.
yeah, so
Yeah.
keep an eye out. I think what happened is a lot of times people bought them for their parents or their relatives, and they were like, they used it once and they were done.
Yeah.
But I love it.
So what? So is this the one that you normally use?
Yeah, I use that. I
Yeah.
make cucumber noodles in the summer, and I put it with like some rice wine vinegar, ginger, garlic,
Ooh.
and tamari. That's like my
Okay, my
favorite lunch when it's really hot.
oh, that sounds delicious. Okay, my I think the suction isn't working very well, so okay, it's okay. Yeah, so basically you just put them in between and then you spiralize. This would be yeah, so this is really fast. Um, so I quite like this one. Yeah,
So
there you
much
go, that's your noodles.
faster. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, way faster. But it's just that yeah, yeah, I find that nowadays I find like I should just get kind of like the the best equipment that I can get and that I can afford at that time rather than, try something cheap and then end up buying the expensive one. I mean, that's what happened with my dehydrator. I bought a cheap dehydrator and then in the end I was like, oh, okay, I need to get the Excalibur and then and the same with my food processors. I think I went through a few very yeah, pretty cheap food processors and then in the end I had to get my Vitamix and all that. So yeah, so that's that. And then the last one, which I actually tend to like to use a lot these days. Do you know this is actually this came out even before spiralizers were popular, because
No.
this is the Ben Reiner Cook Health. So it's actually from Japan, and you know how Japan in Japan they make the sushi, and then no, they have this radish, right? Which is like very fine,
Yes.
white radish is very fine. Yeah, so they actually use this. Yeah, so this has been around for a long time. I think 70s or it's a pity I don't have the box with me. Oh, I might have the box. Hold on, I wanted to show you the box because it's so funny.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
awesome.
hold on,
You, tools are
if I can
always
find the box.
welcome because I'm like, I wish that I could just come over to your house and we could hang out and you could show me all the cool places in Malaysia.
Okay,
And Marilyn is saying that the thing that you're showing looks like Pampered Chef makes one like that. Oh, I love that.
right? Can you see what
Yeah.
I mean by like I think this has been around forever? I mean even the pamphlet.
That's awesome. I love old, like vintage pamphlets for things. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So yeah, this is the company that does it, Ben Reiner.
Ben,
Yeah, I got this. Yeah. So I got this in Singapore, and then now they do have. I think like sometimes you find it in Malaysia. Yeah. So they call it a slicer. I think it's Ben Reiner Cook Help.
and
Yeah.
for they
So it's
do
got
have it
really
on our Amazon. It is on our Amazon and it's like
yeah.
$43. It's made of metal though, right? From what I see, it's like sturdy.
Yeah, it's very straight, but no, this uh I think this part might be metal. This part is plastic.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So this is kind of like vertical. So I'm just taking the blade and putting it. Just need to make sure it's pointing the right way. No, it's not right now. Okay, put that in. But this one, you need to, because there's not much space here, so you actually need to cut your zucchini to make sure that it um fits. Whereas the Paderno, it's like you can just fit your whole zucchini inside, I think. Yeah. But yep. So let me just show this one. I like this because it's like when I used to travel, I used to just bring it along. Oh, I took the smaller blade. I took the thicker one, but it's okay because it's like I could fit this in my suitcase and bring this when I
Oh,
do my demos and all that. And yeah, it's, like you said, it's like really sturdy. Yeah,
oh, that's nice. I've
yeah.
noticed some
But
of the one.
sorry, this is the smaller blade.
Okay.
So
I've noticed some of the newer ones have started doing it that way, like up and down instead of by the side. Do you feel like the gravity helps with that at all?
it does. But you know, if you're doing zucchini, it doesn't really matter because it's so soft. But let's say if you're doing like beetroot or carrots, I think the gravity does help.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Because yeah, I
yeah.
have something that goes on my KitchenAid mixer. I got a spiralizer, and I was really
Ah,
excited. And I actually got a sweet potato stuck on it. I had to. It was a hard sweet potato because I was like, ooh, now I can do
oh
butternut squash and sweet potato really easily. But I think I have to maybe either get something newer as far as the sweet potato or maybe steam it a little or something first.
no. Yeah.
It was
I
so big. It was like I here, I'll show you what I think. So it was like this big. It was so big and hard.
yeah,
And
I've used the sweet potato on this Ben Reiner as well, and it works. Yeah, it works well. Whereas if I use it on the white one, then I need to kind of like manually kind of move it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So okay, our noodles are ready, and then now we need to make the sauce, which is super simple. Just place all the ingredients in your blender and blend it up. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I have the liquid here. So this was the soy sauce and the liquid sweetener and the shio koji and the tahini going in. Yeah.
mm,
Okay. And then the rest of the ingredients. So there's your sun-dried tomato, your black pepper, the ginger, the miso, the fresh garlic, and the white pepper as well. That's all going in. So this is just for one serving. So that's the other thing I was going like, wow, it's like 3 tablespoons of liquid sweetener. That's kind of a lot for one person, I think. But yeah, so it was again that I was like, I made it with just 2 tablespoons, and I was like, it's still not there. It still doesn't meet that taste that I used to have at the airport. And then I put in one more, like, okay, you're there now.
well,
So
and it
I don't
probably the
know.
original may have even had sugar in it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
original would have sugar because they actually make a pre-made bottled black pepper sauce here in
Hmm.
Malaysia under the Lee Kum Kee brand. And I looked up the ingredients and I just looked up the ingredients like a couple of days ago and I went like, oh my god, maybe this is not vegan after all. Because I mean I don't know whether they use the actual one, but the one that I saw on the website, it has water, sugar, soy sauce, um, color. It's got caramel. It's got high fructose syrup. It's got um oyster sauce, which has a bit of oyster extract. So I was like, that's not
Mm.
vegan. Because the people there always told me that, yeah, it's vegetarian, and we're not putting in any. Uh,
If
I
they
don't know.
made
They
the
told me it was
sauce
vegetarian.
themselves, maybe they use because there's the vegetarian oyster sauce, which is really mushrooms.
Yeah,
But like, yeah,
yeah.
I'm
So
looking
it
at
might
the.
have been that.
We have a version called, I guess the brand is Lee Kum Kee, and
Yes, that's the one.
it's water,
That's
sugar,
the one
soy
that.
sauce, oyster sauce, tomato sauce, and black pepper. So I like yours better already. So,
That's the one that I think every vegan here in Malaysia has, that the vegetarian oyster sauce from Lee Kum Kee. That's like the default and de facto sauce. Yeah, and then there's got like disodium 5 isonate and blah blah blah, and tomato paste and black pepper powder and modified cornstarch and acidity regulator and all that. So no, 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 we're not gonna. So yeah, so so this is whatever it is. This is way healthier than that bottled sauce. So I'm just gonna blend it up. I hope that the blender, it doesn't pick up too much sound from the blender, but we'll see.
we'll be fine. It's not very bad.
Okay, so you, depends on how smooth you want. I actually like my sauces a bit gritty. So I mean, your uh if you want your sauce to be uh, not so gritty, I suppose, then you may want to like mince your garlic really fine, or your ginger, or you make twice the amount then, because this wasn't much, and I don't have the small jars for the Vitamix. I want to get some, but I can't get them in Malaysia, so I need to figure out like
I
if I
just
can
got
actually order
some
them or
and
not.
I've been using them a little bit. They're kind of nice. I also use what is it? A Ninja, a small Ninja one sometimes too. I think
Yeah,
that's much cheaper.
I've been using a NutriBullet. It's just that because the NutriBullet, yeah, so for smaller stuff I usually use the NutriBullet, but my jars need the blades need changing. The thing about NutriBullet is, do you know on their website they actually advise you like, oh, you should change your blades like you should change your blades every 6 months to a year. I was like,
No.
yeah, and then I wrote to them and complained and all that. They say, yeah, this is their recommendation. So yeah, I
That's
don't mean to blast NutriBullet or anything, but it's just like wow, because getting a NutriBullet seemed quite affordable, but if you have to keep changing the blades every year or every 6 months, because it's like the kind of heavy duty um way I'm using it, and
yeah, because raw
yeah,
food, you're going to use a blender, even more than some other vegans are going to as well. So you have to have a
yep,
really good one. I like what you're
yeah,
saying too about the sauce because, like, with Cheryl, my wife, everything has to be smooth. So, but
right,
but what I love about that, like, because this is something I would eat more than she would anyhow. But I love the idea that you get some of these noodles and you get like a little burst of ginger or a little bite from the
yeah,
garlic. I mean, that would keep it really
yeah,
interesting. Every bite would be
yeah,
just slightly different.
yes, exactly. I'm so glad you understand me. Because I think other people are like, how come it's not smooth? Why is it so gritty? Oh, I remember going to this. So I was in Boston in 2020, right before the lockdown,
Ooh.
and I went to this vegan chocolate factory. I can't remember. Was it Taz or something? Anyway, they said like, what is it? Gritty is the new. Oh, I can't even
Oh,
remember
because
the
they
phrase
have
that
the
I wanted
little
to say.
rounds. They have the rounds of chocolate, the Taz, right?
Yes, yes, Taz, right? Like
Yeah.
gritty is the new pretty or something. Is that what they call it? But I can't
It's
remember. But yeah,
good. It's good chocolate.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I put the sauce into your mixing bowl. Later you can see it. Yeah, that's good.
Mm.
And then yeah, I'll just put in. If you just want to make it really easy, I put in the mushrooms. I'm using today. I used dried shiitake mushrooms because I couldn't get the fresh ones. Um,
So you
yeah, but you
rehydrated
can use
them?
fresh.
Did you?
So I rehydrated them.
Okay.
I rehydrated them and then I sliced them like thinly.
Well, that's a
Yeah,
good
but
texture, though. It's a different
they're
texture, but it's good. It's like a little more chewy, yeah? This way.
yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say they're quite chewy though. So if you have a picky eater or fussy eater like my boyfriend, He'll be like, I can do this for so long. I know your Cheryl is your picky eater, so
Yes, I know. So, like, what we need to do is we need to meet up and go on a double date, but then you and I eat separately from them. They can have the easy food and
yeah,
we can have something exciting.
yeah. So just toss everything in. I'm just gonna use my hands because it's just easier.
It's so
Yeah,
pretty.
and yeah, you could even put carrots as well. Yeah, carrots would be really nice. I'm not sure why I didn't think of using carrots, but yeah. I guess I just wanted to remember it the way I had it in the airport cafeteria. Yeah. And then I know some people have questions. I always get this like, can you eat mushrooms raw? And I think when I first so I did my culinary training. My basic culinary training was at Matthew Kenny academy. But then after that, I learned from many other teachers as well. And I bought a lot of books and I did a lot of courses and all of them. So, whether it was Matthew Kenny, whether it was Sayuri Tanaka in Bali, um, Lauren Lovett in Plant Academy UK, they all, even I think what's his name? Russell James, the raw chef, they all use raw mushrooms. But I know, like, I think at one point, I think Dr. Furman says you should cook them. And at one point, Dr. Gregor said you should cook them as well. But n- I know sometime last year, I think Dr. Gregor, he published a video saying this. Hold on, I have it in my notes because I want to make sure. Okay, so he said that there's no association between eating raw mushrooms and cancer. This is in nutritionfacts.org videos. Is it safe to eat raw mushrooms? It's at minute 4.28 of the video. So if anyone wants it, I have the links. And then Chris Kendall has also said this as well. Chris Kendall is from the Raw Advantage. He was also in the one of the contributors to the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle, where he contributed, I think, his 21-day spring plan. So he also said, like, in short, the studies done on mice regarding the potential carcinogenic qualities of agarotine do not translate over to any risk in humans. So that's what I'm going with. But if you do find, like, some people do have mushroom allergies. Yeah, and
Right.
some people do react badly to raw mushrooms. So, feel free to cook them, blanch them, or just don't put them in. I mean, yeah. I mean, I put the mushrooms in to kind of like be the meat substitute, but you don't need to.
Well, I think I
Um,
like it that way though, because especially I don't tend to rehydrate most mushrooms. Like, so I do the opposite. So I actually slice up my shiitakes from today and I put them in the freezer. So they'll be ready. And because
ah,
I'm going to saute them. If you're going to eat them raw, you would not want to do that because it won't be nice. But, ooh, I want
yeah.
that for my
So
dinner.
So usually, yeah, if I'm eating this, I would just put on the garnish, the spring onions, the white and black pepper seeds. But I guess I'll try and put it on the plate, and then because then it'll be easier for
Because we're being
yeah.
fancy.
So I don't know if you notice, I'm actually kind of sitting down in my kitchen because my kitchen's a bit small, so I can't really. If I stand, then you can't see me. So um, I may like you know I may feel a
Ooh.
bit awkward plating it and all that, but
You
yeah.
don't seem awkward at all. So don't even think about that.
Thank you. Yeah. Because sometimes I have like chefs noticing they're like, yeah, you're sitting. I said, yeah, I know. Because like, if not, I can't I can't fit myself into the camera and people can't view me and all that. So,
But I kind of
yeah.
like that because it encourages people who maybe they've worked all day and they're too tired to stand up that you can do things sitting down too though if you need to. I think it's always good to let people see that everything can be different, you know? Ooh, all that green.
Yeah. So I didn't take everything out from the plate because, from the bowl just because, yeah, I wanted a bit of negative space as well. So, and then I'm just sprinkling on the white and black sesame seeds as well. It smells really good. Yeah, the sauce smell. I haven't tasted it yet because it's still a bit early for me. I mean, it's like it's not even 9 yet. I'm doing this restrictive. this time window thing. So I only have my breakfast at 10.
Oh,
So that's the
intermittent
reason why I haven't.
fasting. We call it intermittent
Yeah, I haven't.
fasting.
Yeah, I find that it it works so well for my digestion. So yeah, that's why I I'm doing like I eat between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. these days. Yeah, so I have that window. Yeah.
Oh, it looks
So,
so good.
ta-da!
You guys see that?
Yeah,
I
I'm
think,
trying to figure
uh,
out the eCam. Ah, okay. This
yeah,
would be the
you've
best.
got it good. I love that.
Just in case you need a thumbnail or something.
Oh, that's so good. I'm
But
just
yeah,
like,
there you
keep
go.
keep handing it over. I'll go back to where we're both together again.
All right, cool.
And so yummy and so easy. I think
Exactly.
sometimes I have the misconception that raw food is going to take a lot more time, which
Yeah,
I think is
not
silly.
necessarily.
Yeah. And Marilyn says that it looks delicious, and it does.
Oh,
Oh, and Az says, yum. Got all kinds of. We all want the food. So, when are you cooking for all of us? Hopefully soon. Um,
yeah.
so, do you do classes often? Are you doing more recorded classes and ebooks, or do you do anything live that's coming up?
Okay, so I used to do in-person classes and workshops, and then I used to have people come over to my place as well, and I would do classes as well, or sometimes one-on-one. But then all the restrictions came in and lockdown and all that, so I had to cancel everything. So right now it's just the online courses that I talked about, and they can just check it out in the link. Yeah, you put up the
Okay.
link tree, so it's all there. Um, I haven't tried doing any one-on-one Zoom classes yet. I used to do some free Zoom sessions for those who signed up for my e-newsletter, but I haven't been doing that recently. Yeah, so it's just basically all the pre-recorded courses, because I just found that that was just easier and less stressful for me. And I think also then because I could, you know how you start. Well, for me, like I started with an idea, right? Like, oh, let me make this recipe for my course, and then like when I'm doing halfway, like I'm like, oh, why don't I? Since I'm already making this, why don't I make that? And this will
Yeah.
accompany this, and this will go well with that, and then I have like 20 recipes that I want to share, and I can't do it in one Zoom session. And then I decide like, oh, why don't I just put it all in the course? And then I realized like, oh my god, this is like a lot of work to edit all the videos and write up the course book. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically what happened.
Well, and I film
Yeah.
my classes live, and then I just put them up. But like I usually develop one recipe at least during the class so that people can kind of learn how things go together or how to tell if it goes together for them, right? But if you ever
Yeah.
want any help with any of that, just contact me and I'll tell you the stuff that I use.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I did when I first started, I did do a live class. So the tempeh one was actually a live class, which I actually did it in the Facebook group. So now it's just that, they get access to recordings, and I've added some more videos to it. And then I did a nut-free cheese class, which was live as well.
Mm,
But then after that, I just found it was a bit stressful, especially at that time, because we were in lockdown, so I couldn't have anyone to come in to assist me at all, and I couldn't have anyone to help me with the washing and or because usually when I do something, I usually have at least one person helping it.
mm,
Yeah, so you can actually really focus on teaching, and then all the little things that they can help, like clear plates and wash up and this and that. So I think because of that, I didn't want to do anything live. I mean, I now things have kind of opened up, so I can actually have people over and all that as well. But it's just that
oh,
I think I just stopped it. So yeah, but then you have people over and everybody needs to be in mask, and so anyway.
it's crazy. Like for me, like Cheryl and I were going out, but like I'd have to pack everything in coolers, pack everything in the car. unpack the car into the place we would go to, do the
Yeah.
stuff. We'd sort of wash some of the dishes there, so I'd wash all of them over again, but then we'd have to load it back into the car, back up to here, then wash all the dishes. And I was like, I just want to stay in my house. So I usually, Cheryl will help with some things, like if we know it's going to be real heavy, but I probably live in a little bit of a larger space than you do. And I have like 5 instant pots and some different things like that.
Yeah.
So, but because of that, I've blown fuses during class. So we like have drop
Wow.
cords that go all over the house. It's like such a mess on the other side. You wouldn't believe it.
Ah,
But I really
yeah.
appreciate you, getting up so early to hang out with us, because this is like as early as you can get up, and this is about as late as I can actually speak and be understood in any kind of way. I feel like my brain starts turning off at 5, so 9 is about my limit. But thank you for bringing this wonderful, beautiful, beautiful dish to us. And again, wherever you guys are watching, somewhere around in there, you've got links that you can get to this book that Chef Yin shared with us. And again, if you have the bundle, you already have the book, just go to your stuff and download it. And I think we all need to make this.
Yeah, thank you so much. You're most welcome. It was fun and it smells really good.
I know, I'm jealous.
I'm
I'm
just
super
like,
jealous. So we'll definitely have you on again, because even people who aren't raw vegans, like we eat more raw food as the weather warms up and the weather is starting to warm, we're getting to spring and summer. Oh,
yeah,
Marilyn
yeah.
said, oh, and Apple says, thank you. And Marilyn
You're
says she's
welcome,
up to
Apple.
4 instant pots now. She has 2 6 quarts, a 3 quart, and an 8 quart. And it's easy. It's like spiralizers. Whatever thing you use a lot of, sometimes you accumulate extra ones. But I love it, and I really
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on. And I'd love to have you on again sometime. And I could even try and stay up a little bit later or something. We'll see if we can make it work. But with food like this, I mean, I want to eat more of your raw food. Absolutely.
Oh, thanks so much, Kathy.
Okay,
This
well,
was really
have
fun.
an amazing day and enjoy your lunch when you have it. And everybody, it's 9 o'clock my time in my part of the world, so I'm going to be going to sleep soon. And Ass says, thanks for this. You guys are so welcome. I'm just really excited to bring to you all these great vegan chefs and recipe developers that we get to all learn from, and it's really fun. Um, and Linda says, thank you as well. So, all I
Well,
want you to do is, if you have just a tiny bit of energy, try to do something kind for yourself, even if that's load the dishwasher and start it for tomorrow, or maybe spiralize some vegetables for when you wake up in the morning, something like that. And if you've got another little teaspoon of energy, do something or say something kind to somebody else, because we all need it so badly these days. Oh, Marilyn says that you're so sweet and that we have really good chemistry. So we have to do this again. I know, isn't that great? I feel like you and we definitely have some of the same ways of thinking about food, and it makes it very exciting. Okay, everybody, have an amazing night, and I will talk to you very